Hey everyone, I'm sorry I haven't updated in a while. I wish I could say I'm doing great, but that would be a lie. Everything hits me in waves. I go from just being numb to boiling with rage. I haven't had a happy moment since I found out. Other than a few friends, I don't really have anyone IRL, especially since my family turned out to be S*******. Quite a few things happened since I posted last. It's been about a month, so this update will tell all that's been going on. After my last post, I decided to get the ball rolling on everything that needed to be done, like getting tested, finding a therapist, moving, and of course buying a new bed. I started by calling my doctor's office telling them I needed to get tested and to refer me to a therapist. I had my first appointment with a therapist 2 weeks ago, and we decided to continue once a week. I also got tested last week, but it'll be another week or so until I get the results, cross your fingers for me. I got in touch with a real estate agent friend of mine, and he sent me a ton of listings, and I decided on a refurbished cabin on the outskirts of my city. I finished moving 2 days ago. When I finished moving, I called Elle's parents. When they picked up, I told them I moved out and Elle has still yet to pick up her things, and that the landlord will start showing the apartment in a few days. So someone better pick her things up before the landlord throws it out. That must have lit a fire under them, because the next day my former landlord texted me thanking me for getting the apartment emptied out. No one knows where I live now other than the friend who set me up with this place, so I know Elle or my parents won't be dropping by. The only thing that sucks about this place is I traded a 10-minute walk to work to a 45-minute drive. My phone has been blowing up with texts and calls from Elle, both my parents and some of my friends, but I have no interest in talking to anyone other than my therapist. At work I've been a ghost. I go and get my work done and leave. On the rare occasion I have to talk to someone, I put on my fake smile and pretend everything is okay. My boss from my previous post has been trying to check in on me more, but I don't really tell her anything. Either I just tell her I appreciate it, but I'll be okay. Truth is, I don't know if I'll be okay. I get that time heals and all, but I feel like that's only relevant when you're dealing with one issue, not when you lose who you thought were the 3 closest people in your life all at once. A huge part of me died, and there's no chance of resuscitating it. The meetings with my therapist are going well. I suppose I've never done therapy before, so I have no reference on what good therapy is. We do get along all right, and she really seems genuine in wanting to help. The first session was us getting to know each other and delving into what brings me to her. Nothing in depth, but me just telling her what happened in my own words. The second session we went a bit deeper. She asked me about the relationship I had with my parents. I told her up until now it was great. We talked often and always communicated well when something was wrong, and that I grew up in a great home, but that all means nothing now. She asked why I cut my mother out of my life. I told her she said things to me I wouldn't say to someone I despised, then told her there's no way she can come back from that. At the end of our last session, I gave her the link to my page on here so she can read more about how I feel and what's going on in my head. I feel like it's easier to type things out than it is to speak it. So, if you're reading this, hi doc. For now, I'm still miserable. I thought I'd be okay by now, not necessarily happy, but okay. I know some of it is my own fault not communicating to my friends, but when I think about responding to them it just seems so exhausting. I know they'll want to get together or come to my new place, but I just don't have the energy to be around them. Until I do, I'll work, go to my appointments, and sit on my back deck sipping on some bottom shelf whiskey and try to enjoy this beautiful view. I haven't hunted since high school, so maybe I'll take that up again now that I can hunt from my back porch. Thank you all for reading this far. Hey everyone, sorry I've been Mia for a while now. I'm writing this update to let you all know I'm alive, and to give you the lowdown of what's been happening as of recent. First, I want to apologize to those who've worried about me the past few months. After my last post I was nowhere near okay, so I pulled back from everything. I secluded myself in order to heal and cope with what is now my life. I want you to know every comment and message didn't fall on deaf ears. I took all of your positive feedback and advice and worked through my problems. So, to the people who've supported me though, this truly thank you. I can't stress it enough. When I was at the lowest I've ever been, it was internet strangers that were there for me, so again thank you all. In my last post I was doing things like getting tested for STDs and trying to restart my life. I'm happy to inform you all I am clean, and couldn't be more relieved. I am fully moved into my new place. When I told you all about my new place, I told you it was a refurbished cabin. Well, I might have been a little generous. It was refurbished almost 25-30 years ago, so it was a bit dated. Well, with all my newfound free time, I decided to actually refurbish it, and all that's left to do is paint the guest room I turned into an office. The only thing I didn't do myself was the electric and plumbing, because I have no clue how to do it, and have zero interest in being shocked or putting my hand in a sheet-covered pipe. Doing all the work has been incredibly stress-releasing, and has helped me clear my head. I still see my therapist once a week. To all those who suggested it, you probably saved my life, so thank you. Being able to vent, get my frustrations out, and get the advice I need has been better than anything in my life, past or present. I'm still working at the same company. I've become more open with some of my coworkers that I'm closer with, and my boss from my previous post, due to the advice from my therapist. Also due to her and some of your advice, I've reached out to my friends and have slowly been reintegrating into the group again. Now on to the update with what's been going on between my family and ex. I decided I was ready to have a talk with my mother, so a little over a month ago I unblocked her on my phone and reached out. I called, and almost instantly she picked up the phone. I could tell through the tone of her voice she was panicking. Eventually, after reassuring it was me, I told her we should meet and talk. She agreed, and a day later, we met at diner near her house. She was there before I was, and when she seen me, she started quietly sobbing. When I sat, she apologized over and over again, telling me she could only take their word because she never thought them getting together would ever happen. I told her while I appreciate her apology, the things she said to me were despicable, and something no mother should ever say to their child. And it showed me exactly what she thought of me. She cried harder and promised it's not true that when she was told I hit my father for no reason, she was so angry, and when I showed up to the house, she just let her anger take over. Not wanting to go back and forth with her, I decided to move on. I said, speaking of that, pause. What have you decided to do with him? She told me they've been separated. She just kicked him out since the day after I sent her the video, and she immediately found a lawyer. Then we moved on to my ex. She said that when I pulled away, she went back into the house and threw them both out. She was too disgusted to look at them. We talked for about an hour in total, and before I left, I told her I was in a dark point of my life, and because of the things she said to me, I didn't have my mother when I needed her, and because of that I don't know if I could have her in my life. I then told her I'm willing to work on my relationship with her, but it will be at my pace. She stopped me before I could leave, and told me she has to tell me something important. I sat back down, and she said Elle is pregnant. Elle apparently showed up to the house and told my mom. She said she didn't know if it's mine or my father's. Elle asked if I had been in touch so she can let me know. Obviously, she hasn't, so my mom just sent her on her way. Well, that's about it for the update. I have a lot on my mind, not sure what to do or feel. Thank you for reading. Sorry for rambling on and on.